What's up, YouTube? Zach is back, bringing you another replay, commentary, gameplay, analysis, highlight reel, whatever thing. Played some solo queue today with Wigglytuff. Had a pretty solid game overall. We won, obviously. That's always nice. And I think part of what I like about this game is it shows off a lot of what makes Wigglytuff good throughout the game. So, without much further ado, let's get into it. Looking at lineups alone, I like ours a lot better than theirs because first of all, we have two helpers, and second of all, they have no sustain mechanisms in long fights, and we have a lot of very potent damage dealers in the late game. So they have a very hard time fighting into us if they can't get a good pick early on. So Wigglytuff's role in a game like this is, first of all, to lead the charge in team fights to, stun people, slow people, set up whatever your team needs for the KOs, and secondarily to that, just being a person that keeps people from dying with your passive and with your ultimate. Both of those function as really great tools for Wigglytuff to draw aggro away from teammates and to save teammates from aggro when they're getting gone on. Double Slap is great for contesting last hits early on, so you can play pretty aggressively if you get ahead. There I wish my Espeon had just hit the freaking rabbit. He's too obsessed with hitting the Leafy on there. I wasn't really enjoying the lane with this guy, to be honest. I mean, at the beginning anyway. Later on things get better, but the start I was like, this is okay. I just don't like being in situations where we're ahead and we're like playing like we're not, you know what I mean? And I feel like hitting a person there is like, yeah, I can get you further ahead, but hitting farm is like why you want to be ahead. Anyway, enough talking about what happened nearly 40 seconds ago at this point. You see I'm just constantly hitting the Sweet Beam because I want to get as many boosted attacks off as possible. Wigglytuff's a Pokemon that plays really great in terms of just like aggressively punishing melee Pokemon in situations like this. Where look, between my passive, my Sing, and my boosted attacks, this guy's like held in place next to me. And so we just can't get away from getting stunned and slowed for so long in these team fights. So any attacker obviously can make good use of that. And even here, I'm like still willing to play aggressively to some extent. Recognizing that even... Okay, well there it sucks that he gets KO'd. But even if they're both here, we're still stronger than them, I think. Do I die here? I believe I do. But I do secure the last hit with Dazzling Gleam. So Dazzling Gleam's a great move on Wigglytuff because I like it a lot better than whatever the move is, like multi-slap, I don't even know what it's called. But basically that move is like a gamble on how much damage you deal. But its DPS is still lower than Dazzling Gleam's, even considering the average range of damage you can deal with that move. On top of that, Dazzling Gleam plus a slow effect, and as soon as you press the button, it puts the hitbox there. Like, the slapping move, if you die in the middle of that, then you're done. But Dazzling Gleam, it like puts it out. So even if you move away, die, if you get knocked away, that Dazzling Gleam will still have the first hit and then the second hit. The first hit when it forms, and the second hit when it bursts. The first hit is a little slower, there's a little less damage, but it slows them down, and the second hit's like a big chunk of damage, and slows them again. So the idea is the first hit slows them down, which lines them up for the second hit. It gives Wigglytuff really good burst damage, which is actually really great in terms of its spread, right? That's how you want your burst damage to be, is as much in one part of the attack as possible. And since there's a very weak damaging component and then a very heavy damaging component, that heavy damage component deals a lot of burst damage. So Wigglytuff is very good for securing objectives, even though it's a very low damage Pokemon. Using Sing is also nice for moving around the map because it gives you increased movement speed, so I like using it that way a lot of the time when I'm just getting from point A to point B. Here it's a bit of a combination. I'm like using it to get up front, but also to force the enemy back, right? They don't want to stand next to me while I'm singing, otherwise they will be put to sleep. So it forces them to start backing away if I start running up singing. Here I'm just buying space for our other two guys to do the objective because at the end of the day, they're all our team's damage, well them and the Espeon. But really truly, I have no damage for our team on an objective, so I'm just going to fight people where my stuns and slows are really meaningful. Yep, and we managed to push it in because Greninja ulted away to get us. It was a pretty good ult in terms of the damage he dealt, but obviously he let us put that thing in, which is not what you want to do there. Yeah, this is when I started to notice his Sidgewai is doing very well. He identifies a kill opportunity and then picks up another right afterwards with his level advantage against this low health Ninetales. Unfortunately, that's where they start to kill him, though. The point being, this guy has a good sense of mind for how to deal damage, so I'm going to make it my goal this game to play with him. That is what I did. If not, like, constantly at his side, then helping at Rayquaza more than anything else. Yep. And since Wigglytuff is a melee Pokemon, obviously you want to be next to hit them. But even in addition to that, all of your moves and abilities work in junction such that you want to be right next to Pokemon as much as possible. Not to mention with your high HP pool and good defensive stats, especially if you're running Focus Band like I am, you can really tank a lot of damage instantly. So you can just run. So what I do as Wigglytuff a lot is what I call just like, get down, Mr. President. Where you see a guy taking damage and you just run between him and the person damaging him. Like, I'm just gonna run straight at that person. I don't care that they're dealing a bunch of damage. They have to hit me first now. Yep, we ended up taking a bit too much damage there and dying as a result. But it was necessary for the play in the end to be able to finish those guys off. And I think these guys push on our goal zone. These guys are gonna go home probably. Heal up, go to top. I'm just gonna farm with him actually. I see he's farming and I think, okay, I'm gonna run back, get some XP share value. Get some last hits to make sure I get my ult back. Of course, he needs his back too, but if I get mine back faster, then it's more likely I can use my ult again really quickly and then still have it up even before Rayquaza, which is really good as Wigglytuff. Your ult is a really low cooldown ult, and a lot of the value just comes in what it does to help your teammates. So even if it's like, oh, I want to hit for Rayquaza, it's like, if your carry's about to die, you can use it 10 seconds before Rayquaza to save him, you know what I mean? And that's completely valid. So here, we are stronger than them, but we have to play together, and we start to get separated here. We have some people go on the Mamoswine, so I turn around and go help him, but we can't finish him off. The Greninja's damaging us. We have two helpers on point trying to control people, but then our damage dealers are too spread out, and we can't really focus our damage on anyone. And the Greninja, or not Greninja, Gengar runs by himself to score points bottom. Kind of unfortunate how it worked out, but that's how it goes sometimes. Situations like that, you want to really play as a cohesive unit. Identify and take out each opponent you can as quickly as possible. Because the less numbers they have in the fight, the easier it is for you to contest whatever you're contesting, you know? Here I wanted the Decidueye to come farm these while I get the XP share value. But hitting them myself still gives me ult charge, and I am at, I think at this point, like 79 or 89 away at my ult. So I just run down here, and it is my goal now to play with Decidueye as much as possible. He is not only our team's most efficient damage dealer at this stage of the game, he's also proven himself to be quite an effective player, so when you have someone missing your teams, this is a great thing to do to support. Just pocket them, you know? Hey, we're all solo queuing out here, we're all complaining about how this match sucks and we just want good teammates. Just be a good teammate, you know? And then you'll win these games. Shocker, I know. But you really get a good feel for that when you play Pokemon like Wigglytuff or any other supporters and defenders of this sort. Pokemon that really do need their team to be able to win the game. At the end of the day, Wigglytuff can't rip Rayquaza. Wigglytuff can't score enough points on her own. And look, here I'm just staying right next to the Decidueye, making sure no one can go on him. Here I notice no one's able to go on him, so I think, okay, I'm going to bait them. I'm going to run at this Ninetales, force him back, and as soon as they go on him, I'm going to run straight back. This is what I was talking about at the start, where he started getting gone on, but then I was there for him, and so it was fine. Yep, and I'm just keeping everyone off him that I can. Throwing out a Dazzling Gleam there. They killed that guy easily without me, but if they hadn't, you saw that his HP was at a point where Dazzling Gleam would have finished him off. It's always a good idea to throw one out if you can before you die. And we didn't get to see it this game, but it is very, very good at securing Rayquaza. I've had many games where I outlasted my team for it just for fun, but also where I've secured it against the enemy team while they're doing it. I even had a game a few days ago where My whole team died. I was the only one up as Wigglytuff. So I just ran in, ulted, and dazzled him, then Rayquaza, and we got it. And then my teammates were like spawned by that point, and so we just scored a bunch of points and won. It was awesome. Anyway, hope this video shows why I like this Pokemon, what I like about it, and how to make use of those attributes. Hope you enjoyed it as well, as long as my rambling commentary may be. What else? Yeah, you know, do all the things. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. And, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.